A pleasure to see you guys again in another episode of Rod X Lap Attack. I'm Sean Bodine, and in this episode we're going to be using the 2021 Subaru BRZ. Now this wasn't the very first car I bought on my own, but it's one of the few that was actually the first. I also got several other cars before this one, but they were gift cars. I didn't buy those, so that's why I said it was one of the very first cars that I bought. I think the other few were a Dodge Viper. I know one of the 69 Corvettes was also around before. And I can't remember the other one. Maybe a Ford Mustang. Speaking of Mustangs, we have 4 of them on our list here. The fastest one being the 1969 Boss 429. The others are a 2016 Ford Shelby GT350, and then the 2015 Mustang GT, which is 9th, and then the Mach 1 at 13th. Not the fastest of the Mustangs, actually the slowest, but it was still pretty impressive that a car from 1971 was able to go over 200 miles an hour. I think the exact speed was 210. You might remember in the previous episode when I was driving the Mazda Demio Laughing Face that I wanted the next few cars to be Subarus, because like the Corvettes we were previously testing, Subaru is at its 70th anniversary. According to the game, the company started business in July of 1953. It was actually the 15th, so not quite exact, but nevertheless, a 70-year anniversary is always good to celebrate. Funny enough, when I was at Stop and Shop, I was getting a fire truck from Matchbox, and Matchbox 2 is also celebrating its 70th anniversary. Something else I find interesting about the brand, Matchbox was originally a rival to Hot Wheels, or vice versa, since Hot Wheels came after Matchbox, but now Hot Wheels and Matchbox are both owned by Mattel. Pretty interesting if you think about that. Something else interesting you might like, my livery that I've got for this Subaru is a New York Central inspired livery. Kind of similar to the WRX I had in Gran Turismo Sport, but instead of doing the lightning stripe livery, I decided to try and go for the newer cigar band livery. Not sure exactly why they came up with that name for that livery, but maybe it had something to do with the logo. Had a black rectangle in the middle of a white oval. But instead of New York Central, I simply put the word Subaru in the rectangle. However, my WRX in Gran Turismo Sport still has NYC on the license plate. No New York Central, though. I just decided to duplicate the lightning stripes, and that was it. We have another Subaru in this game that has a pretty similar livery. That will be in the next episode. I could be wrong, but I think that's also WRX. But, like I said, you'll find out once we get to the next episode. We're slowing down just under 200. 6th gear at 199. But we will eventually speed up once we finish going around the curve. Still can't believe July itself is almost over. This Monday, we're gonna start off with August 1st, and surprisingly, my weather app says that we're gonna have a low of 51. Now, how often do you hear about that in August? Probably like at the end of the month, towards Labor Day weekend, but on the first day of the month. Usually the hottest month of the year, too. But surprisingly, August 1st, we're going to have a low of 51. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw a bunch of people wearing jackets at the beach. But I'm sure that a lot of people will also be grateful for the break from the heat waves that we've been recently getting. Some of the temperatures have been getting up to 93. I don't know if this is happening to the rest of you guys, but here on the west side of New Jersey, everyone's pulling through, doing the best we can to survive. All of our ACs are cranked up. A lot of ice cream, and pretty much a variety of other cold stuff in general to try and keep us warm. Okay, 93, I should be grateful that's all it is. I mean, it could be like 120 in some of the deserts on the western side of the country. Maybe Los Angeles in general. Read a news article that unfortunately some people with Tesla and a few other electric cars are not getting good performance because of the heat itself. I didn't actually read the article, I just saw the title, so whatever's going on is either making the cars not run, or if they are running, then it's not 100%. I guess that's also why Toyota's been working on a hydrogen engine. I watched the video about that a few weeks ago, and they've been working on it for a while. Right now they probably already have a few cars in production and being sold in Japan and maybe a few other countries where Toyota's proved to be a success. I sometimes refer to Toyota as Mexican mobiles because almost every single person I see driving one of those is either Mexican or some other nationality from South America. In fact, I remember one time when I saw Tony Stewart move from JGR to the Haas organization and renamed it Stewart Haas. I heard of his replacement, Joey Logano. Before he drove the 22 for Penske, he actually drove the 20 Home Depot car for Joe Gibbs Racing for a few years. But when I heard of him for the very first time in 2009, I actually thought his last name was pronounced Logano. Because of that, I actually thought he was of South American or Hispanic heritage. Would have been pretty funny too. He's like, "Hola, señor. Me llamo Joey Logano." And everyone gets in fights with him because he drives like a jackass. Not anymore, though. He seems to have calmed down. I mean, I know he wrecked Kyle Busch at the LA Coliseum, but before that, there was actually a moment where another car was about to spin out, and Joey actually tapped him and prevented him from losing control. There was also one time at Pocono where Joey was really angry, though. He actually got pissed off at safety crews because of how they had the tow truck set up. Like they were pushing him instead of having it hooked up. Right, we got a 540. Let's see how we did compared to the others. Yeah, that's what I thought. I said that the Mach 1 was going over 200, and we were just under that speed, so I had a feeling we'd be down here. But thanks for watching me, and hopefully you'll see me drive another Subaru in the next episode. Take care, and I'll see you later.